Armen, thanks for coming on the podcast. We always start off with a brief introduction of yourself and the business that you're in, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure. I'm Armen. I'm the CEO of ACERO Digital, and we are a marketing agency for businesses. We're a B2B marketing agency. We do a lot of strategy and a lot of implementation of marketing strategies, primarily SEO, PR, and link building strategies for businesses across like the legal, software, cybersecurity, and also like some other industries like blockchain and e-commerce as well. We've been doing this since 2020, but I've been doing this since 2017. I used to work at the European Parliament in Brussels before the UK left the EU, so I had a very different life before all of this. But I was always building my own websites in the background, even when I was working there, and I was always really interested in like trying to grow websites and this kind of thing. So I always had that in me a little bit. So when I needed a career change, it kind of was just a little bit natural, like to go into this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So starting, you started to do your own thing in 2017.
Yeah.
What year are you in Brussels?
I was in Brussels from like 2010 until 2017, basically.
Right.
I was there for a while. My whole 20s were there, living and living in like the political kind of bubble of Brussels, and it was really fun for that time of life. But yeah, I didn't know that I was gonna go into marketing or anything like that afterwards. But yeah, it was like, yeah, basically you would just have a very kind of political life. Like you'd be in the European Parliament, like going to loads of meetings and stuff. I used to work on foreign policy. It was really interesting. I used to work with really interesting campaigns, like to do with like EU China, EU South Korea, even touching on North Korea, and like, yeah, it's mad. Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Wow. We could probably do a whole episode just on that period
Yeah, that's
before.
a whole other chapter of life.
Do you wanna? So 2017, you've been building business websites while you were in Brussels.
Yeah.
How, I guess, like the first few years of like just doing freelance work
Yeah.
and building like or getting some work through that, and then you decide to found like a business.
Yeah, yeah,
20.
yeah. Basically, got like I needed a career change, so I moved to Barcelona to try and figure things out. And while I was there, I was selling digital marketing services, mainly like content writing and also a little bit of social media. Started working for some very small startups in Barcelona, and then kind of grew a little bit over time, and then got busier and needed people to help me, and hired some people to help me as freelancers. And then, yeah, I got some big clients, and, things got kind of serious, and realized that, what, there's a lot of responsibility now. So we might as well start a company and get behind a brand. That's how it happened. And then, yeah, after, yeah, 2020, 2020, yes, started my company in London. And yeah, we've been doing that since. We had some really good years. The first few years were really great. We had a lot of word of mouth referrals, and like loads of like our business grew really fast the first few years. But like, as you know yourself, you can't always rely on word of mouth. You got to also be, marketing yourself. One of the
Yeah.
biggest mistakes I think we actually made was not doing that when we were doing really well with word of mouth clients. So we kind of like, we're a little bit lazy about trying to lead generate. And then, when we kind of lost a little bit of business, we were like, yeah, you know what, we do need to have a consistent kind of like lead generation, or just a personal branding strategy at least. So yeah, that's the journey so far.
How do you go from those? You mentioned like a few small startups in Barcelona, and then some bigger clients come along.
Yeah.
How do you get into those?
The bigger clients were actually like, they were like people that I knew from Brussels who had
Yeah.
gone and joined companies,
Right.
and they knew that I was doing marketing, and they didn't actually, I didn't have like any proper big case studies that I'd put together at that time, but I guess like they trusted me to introduce the companies that they worked with to me. And like I pitched them really well. And like I identified how we could help, and we did actually deliver what we said. So like, yeah, and I still work with some of these clients now, but not on a long-term basis. They kind of just contract us when they need something done. We're really good at delivering like media coverage, so getting clients featured in like media sources and doing PR campaigns that intelligently, like we do like data-driven campaigns that kind of like persuade journalists to write about something our client is related to, but in a way where like it's kind of like presented like this is a groundbreaking insight that, you know, you're never going to hear this again kind of thing. So yeah, we do this kind of stuff, and it's kind of related to the political stuff I used to do. I guess that side of it, like dealing with the press and all of that, that's a skill set that I had, and I've got some very skilled people on my team who are very good at that as well. So that's one of the main things that we're doing right now for bigger clients. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to go to probably come back to the growth and like the lead generation stuff in a little bit. I want to go into so you mentioned now having a team, and you've probably, like, so I think you went from using a few freelancers to help you out, and then when the business is formed, you start to bring on team members.
Yeah.
Was it something a lot of founders that I've spoken to, is that's one of the main things that they struggle with, is letting go of tasks, and also like having to manage people and demand results from them.
Yeah, for sure.
While also like handling client relationships as well. Like, is that something that you struggled with in the start?
Yeah, definitely. I would say I still struggle with certain things you just said now, even. But yeah, like, you know, hiring a team and delegating and taking because like at the end of the day, like I'm quite like quality driven. So I really want the quality to be the same, even if someone else does it. So I'm a little bit apprehensive to let go of certain things. But you have to, if you want to scale, it's the only way. So like you have to delegate, and you have to just trust your team. And like I would say hiring good people is one of the hardest parts of growing a business, to be honest. Like hiring people who are going to be with you for a long time, and they know what's expected. But you know, we've got that in place. So I'm really happy with the people that work with me. And but yeah, it was always a struggle letting go of tasks, definitely, like you said.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously interested in the lead generation side of it, and it is like, even I've always fallen into the trap of everything's going well, and then you see it's the trap of stopping like outreach, or just to you know, you want to deliver for your current clients, and you sort of take your eyes off new business. And it's still like the biggest regret I ever had in the early days. And word of mouth and referrals are nice, but they're really unpredictable, so you don't know when the next one's coming.
Not at all.
What so word of mouth, and then you start, when things start to maybe like take a little dip, then you go into like the lead generation side. Do you want to take us through what lead generation you were doing, whether that's emails or anything like that?
Sure. So like we've tried a few things. So what we do now is like I'm building a personal brand on LinkedIn. So I'm posting a lot, got a lot of case studies on there, got all of our reviews on there. Got like a lot of information on there about achievements we've had, and I provide a lot of informational content, like a lot of tips, stuff like that. And at the same time, I do some cold outreach on LinkedIn as well to founders and CMOs and this kind of thing. And at the same time, I've got like an email marketing campaign going on, where I'm targeting, you know, similar kind of stature of people, but through email marketing, offering like site audits and this kind of stuff. Just so people can understand where they stand with their like strategies. For the email marketing, we're going more after like startups and stuff like that, people who haven't necessarily thought about marketing just yet, or maybe they have, but like, you know, they're holding back on it for some reason. They know they need it, but they haven't got around to it yet. It might be more focused on building the product, or like they've just finished that and now, you know, you come in at the right time with the site audit and, you know, ways that they can improve, this kind of thing. So that's what we're doing right now. And I also host events myself. Like I do like workshops. Like I travel to certain parts of the world each year. Like I live in Spain, in Barcelona, and I also go to Chiang Mai and also to Da Nang in Vietnam. And in these spots, there's a lot of like entrepreneurial people, like people building things. And it's really good to like participate in events or even organize your own talks at these things, talking about services you offer and how they can benefit people. So that's another way I'm doing things as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm doing like a personal one where I'm actually putting myself out there and getting content as well, like trying to like get some video content and that kind of thing for these talks. And then also I'm doing the cold outreach on LinkedIn and email, but also posting a lot on LinkedIn as well to get some kind of warmer inbound stuff. So that's my strategy at the moment. We tried ads at one point, didn't really work so well. SEO, like we're SEO experts. You get leads from our websites. You know, we have some websites that bring us leads for services. Those are warmer because, you know, they found us on page 1 for something, and, you know, that already has confirmed that we know what we're doing. So, but yeah, that's our strategy. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the mix that I'm pushing like really hard now, because it used probably a year ago, I would say just send a load of cold emails and you'll get something back. Whereas now it's, I think if the buyer's pyramid, like 3% of your target market are looking to buy at one time. So if you even if you contact your entire target market in a day, only maximum 3% of them are actually looking to buy now. So combining that with the content stuff and getting your face out there, when it does come around for those people looking to buy, you're the first person that they speak to, first person that they think of. So I think it's like completely the way to go.
Yeah.
And just getting your face out there and building that. It comes back to like referrals being really effective because they trust you.
Yeah.
So building that trust, or being able to build that trust by just them looking at you on their social profiles, is massive.
It takes a while, but I'm confident that like I've been doing this for about, let's say, about a year and a half, and it's getting more fluid and better, to be honest. But at the beginning, when you're doing all of these things and nothing's coming back, you're a little bit demotivated. But as you get more LinkedIn posts out there, as people from your emails click through to your LinkedIn and they see that you're a real person with results and all this kind of stuff, it kind of reinforces the whole thing. So yeah, it's definitely a work in progress even at this level, but it's definitely delivering now more than it did at the beginning.
Cool. Do you mind going through, like, if you've got a bit of a strategy behind either what you're posting out, or like how many times a week, or is it just a case of getting as much out there as possible?
It's more just, I mean, I don't do too much. We're doing maybe like, I'm not sure how many, maybe like 100 emails a day on weekdays or something like that. Maybe slightly more. We've got a couple of campaigns running on LinkedIn. We're doing like 30 or 40. I'm doing like 30 or 40 outreaches a day, but not even every day. I'm posting on LinkedIn more or less every day, at least 5 times a week. Yeah, I mean, the messaging is very tailored to who these people are. We've got like some kind of systems that allow us to basically target them a little bit personally. And then we've also got like for example, when we offer like free site audits to certain to some of our campaigns, and we've got like very good like kind of systems to deliver those site audits really well. We're actually building our own software right now that audits a website to a very high level. So it's kind of also us testing that software. When someone wants a site audit, we run it through our own software, and then we kind of human edit it at the end, and we make sure that everything is accurate. So yeah, we are kind of testing our own products throughout this process as well, which is really cool for us. So yeah, that's our system basically. We're not doing anything like let's say, what's it called? Yeah, I guess we're just doing a lot of things that a lot of people are doing, but I guess it's the messaging and then the results that we have when people click through to like our LinkedIn or our website and stuff that they can like see. So yeah, but I feel like you are quite experienced in this yourself, like doing this kind of stuff. So you can tell me if we're on the right tracks or like we're doing something wrong or like.
But yeah, so the changes that we've seen over the last, yeah, maybe even shorter than 6 months, is there's been a lot of issues with the email stuff. Like deliverability has been a big thing
Yeah.
over the past since September. So actually getting through to inboxes has changed, and they've previously like Outlook and Google have always changed like spam filters or whatever it is that
Yeah.
they change. But it seems that this one was a big one. Um, but I'm of the opinion of, so they were stopping, I'm pretty sure it was like Google to Outlook was really hard to get in. So if you were sending from a Gmail account and trying to get into Outlook, it was really hard to get through to the inbox.
Right.
And a lot of people panicked about that. But the way I look at it is, just because, so it picks up if you haven't interacted with that person before. So if you've never sent them an email before, then it's likely to flag some things up.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought of it as, if you have a family member that you've never emailed before, but you actually know that person and you just need to email them something, are they ever going to start sending that into spam? And the answer is probably not. So it's never going to be impossible to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the barrier of entry to send 100 to 1,000 emails a day is so low now that a lot of people are doing it. So that's why inboxes get really noisy, and
Yeah.
like people just get pretty tired of the same message with the same offers from the same people, and they just don't reply to them anymore. So I think if you can cut through that noise with them knowing who you are from a link, if you connect with them on LinkedIn first, or you send them an invite, or they see, I don't know, see some posts through their network interacting with your posts, then that just increases the likelihood that they're gonna respond. So it's definitely the right mix. We've probably moved away from direct sales messaging and moved towards like the variations of like the audits and stuff. Rather than let me sell you something, it's like, let me give you something first, and if you like it, then we can speak. We can take conversations further. But I think it's just all relationship building now and trust building, which you seem to be doing.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a work in progress. We're not professional outbound. We're like, we bring traffic to your website. We're not like, we don't go after people. So this is like a different mindset, but I think we're learning it well. And I've also been mentored by a few people who have been doing this. So I feel like we're on the right tracks. But yeah, there's always room for improvement with this stuff for sure.
Definitely, and it'll constantly change as well. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Is it
Just what?
algorithmic? When you're saying it's changing, is it algorithmic? Like kind of like where, like for example, in my industry, there's Google updates. Is that kind of the same in the email industry as well?
Yeah. So they change. I'm not even too versed up on it these days, because we try to stay away from getting involved in it all. But I know they made some major changes in around August, September time last year,
Yeah.
and especially Outlook. So Outlook was almost impossible to get into, I think. And I don't know, I don't know why. I'm not a full expert on that. But they've always made changes. But and then it was just working out how to get around them. So it'll always be like that. But do you want to move? Should we move it into like a bit more detail on what the business does now? You've mentioned the services that you provide. Do you just want to go into like who you're serving? I don't know, maybe what clients come, like if there's any common things that clients come to you for and that they want help with.
Yeah. Mainly clients come to us because they're either doing SEO and they're not getting any results, or they need something specific like link building, where that's like getting you mentioned on third-party websites with a backlink back to your website. So that kind of stuff, that's mainly what people come to us for. But now we're actually getting we used to sell like full stack SEO services, where we used to have packages where we used to sell, we'll fully look after your website, we'll write the content for your website, we'll build links for your website, and we'll do this every month for like a set price. But it's not, honestly, I have to be honest, it's not the best business model, because like people don't really like being locked in on monthly retainers, and SEO does take a while. I mean, if it's done well, it can be shorter than I mean, for example, like if it's not a very competitive niche, you could get good results within like 3 months. But if it's quite competitive, then you got to be in it for the long run, and you got to really be like building that kind of brand authority, and you got to kind of trust the process. So now what we do is that we itemize our services now. So if we basically just like sell competitor analysis or like site audits, or we sell link building like monthly. That's a monthly retainer. If someone is serious about building authority for their website, and they want links every single month, we will deliver that for sure with no problems. So we do that kind of stuff now. But we're having a bit of a shift in terms of like our revenue streams, because we're now building a number of we've built already, and some of them have already been monetized, but we're building a number of our own websites where we are basically becoming authority figures in certain niches. And then we're going to like make agreements with those businesses in these niches to like, advertise on our websites, and also be featured on our websites, write blogs for our websites, and this kind of thing. So what we're doing right now is we're concentrating on actually getting the traffic. And when we have the traffic, and when clearly like businesses within these niches can see that we are actually quite prominent, they will probably be very happy to pay like a subscription to be featured on our websites in different ways, whether that is like, they can have call buttons from their profiles, or whether they have like, they write blogs that link to their websites from our website, or whether they have a banner on our website, kind of like an ad. So we're kind of looking at this. This would define where we're going more now in the future. We want to be more kind of self-sufficient off our own assets, rather than be more reliant on client work. So we love working with clients, but if we can have both of these things, then it takes the pressure off always having to lead generate. If we can have like assets that actually just constantly generate kind of subscription income, for example, that would be a great achievement for us. Another thing that we're doing is that we're building like products of our own, like we're building software for like SEO industry. We've built like a social media manager that basically is a social media manager. It's a robot that analyzes your blog every day. If there's a new blog on your website, it will take the image, it will take the text, and then it will like run it through some automations, and it will blast out a Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram post in about 10 seconds. And it will just do that every day. You can have it done every 10 minutes if you want, but we do this every day. And it's the quality is fairly good. So we're doing things like that have made our lives easier. And now we're looking on how we can sell those things. So we're doing a few different things. We're quite scattered at the moment, but we know where we're going in the future. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's interesting. The second point that you did was interesting. Is that like so you're using like your SEO skills and stuff to like, if somebody like types law firm in Leeds,
something,
for example, like your website would be the top one, and the law firms in Leeds would use that website to then put their website on.
So like we would take over the law firm, we would take over the Leeds area for law firms, and we would be the law firm in Leeds at the #1 spot. But we won't be we're not a law firm. We're not a law firm. We're an information website. And we will have profiles of many law firms on that website, most likely the ones that want to pay to rent, pay to kind of, be part of it. But this will essentially be another way that you can be seen, and we've done this successfully with a few websites already. I can't mention the niches. So like, it's always risky when you're an SEO to mention what niches you're working in when you're doing this stuff, because people can just jump on them as well. But we've been doing this, and we're now trying to scale this as much as possible, because we see the potential, So yeah, we're using our own skill set to boost our own stuff. That's like the short version of it. Back in the day, like a lot of SEOs used to do affiliate stuff where they would have affiliate links to have products and all this. But in the last Google update, that whole industry got crushed. So we don't do that kind of stuff. We're doing our own kind of information sites.
Yeah, it's kind of like it was basically what Amazon is
Yeah.
for products.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah. But for companies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. So for the like the social media manager robot, is that just like AI agents and using loads of automations there to send things and put it into the right formats?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just a script that's been written that has API access to a number of different tools and accounts, and it just scrapes on a daily basis, and then it feeds information. It's not that these things are no longer difficult to build. I mean, this would have been hard to build like before ChatGPT was a real thing. But now, honestly, these things are really easy to build, and it's just yeah, it's scary actually, to be honest. In a way, you can look at it in two ways. Like, is you can either be worried about it, or you can be using this stuff to be building the next generation of stuff. So we're looking at it more like, let's just get this done. Let's just use this to make our lives easier. We'll have more time. We can do more important things. And then like when we actually build something good, like we are like, wow, this could be something that people actually buy, and maybe it will be worth like making some YouTube videos about it, and then maybe running a meta ad towards it or something like that. So yeah, this is the kind of direction we're going in. I mean, we built a cool one the other day, which isn't, I have to be honest, it's not very good, but it does what it says, as in like it turns your blog into a podcast, which is cool. I mean, it will read your blog and then it will feed it into like a kind of narration tool. And then there'll be like two people talking about it. But it sounds heavily AI, you know, it doesn't sound like they're real people. So it's not like a conversation like this. So I wouldn't say that that one's great, but like, you know, the concept is there. So yeah, this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just innovation, isn't it?
yeah, and I think if you probably looked at the written side of it even 2 months ago, you would think, yeah, that's heavily AI. So the voice is going to catch up and the video is going to catch up very, very quickly, I think.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through any case studies?
Yeah, we can go through some case studies. I mean, I can share. I can just talk about some stuff that we've done very recently. Yeah, I mean, we've built our own. I'll talk about our own stuff because it's performing quite well. So we've built like a number of lead generation websites that we managed to scale significantly in the last like 6 months. One of them has now got about 150 people coming to it a day. And every month it's getting about 100 inquiries that we're kind of selling to individual companies as like as leads. The strategy behind this was having a lot of kind of topical authority. So like being the expert on the niche that we're building in. So we were writing loads of informational content about like a lot of the different angles related to pain points and solutions within this niche. And then at the same time, we were building very kind of heavy duty backlinks from third party websites to this niche that would, and the articles we'd post on these websites would talk about this niche in a lot of detail, and then basically say that we're the authors and link back to us. One of the main things that was a bit of a deal breaker is that a lot of SEOs will go into this kind of work, but their websites won't perform very well. I think the main difference of why our websites are performing is because you need to have some kind of expert on your website. For example, if you're doing this for like accountancy companies, you need like, you can't pretend really to be an accountant. Google will kind of know if you make a fake profile or like make a fake kind of about us page with fake people. You could have got away with that like 5 years ago, but you can't really do that anymore. Like the amount of connections between LinkedIn and Facebook and all of these platforms, it's just like Google knows that you're not real. So we actually get real people on board really fast. Like within when from the ideation phase, like I've already called like 10 people and I've asked them, hey, we're building this lead generation engine. It's not going to give you any leads for at least 6 months, but would you like to be on the website from the beginning? And if you are, you will get free leads for a while after it starts. So we kind of incentivize real experts within these industries to come on our websites and be part of our idea, be part of the journey from the very beginning, and they get kind of preferential treatment as it grows just for like attaching themselves to it. And by doing things like that, you're sending the right signals to search engines and to AI kind of search engines as well. We've got this website featured in the AI overview section on Google for a lot of the target keywords. So it's one of the main things that people see in the AI overview, and then they see it like in the search. And then they see it on search engines like Perplexity, which is totally an AI search engine. So they even see it there. So I think we've done very well at like getting this like website noticed. And yeah, that's one of our case studies. I guess like another one would be a client that came to us very recently, and their website had been totally compromised. Like their website had been de-indexed from Google. Like it was no longer visible. They had like 1,000 pages on this website, and like none of the pages were there anymore. So they came to us and they were panicking, and they said that they've had so many SEO people working on this like in the last week, and no one's been able to figure it out. We basically fixed this in about 3 hours for them. It was like a coding error in one of their like backend. It was the HTA access file. There was like a vulnerability in there, and we managed to spot this really fast, and we basically fixed it and re-indexed the site. And within 2 days, they got pretty much most of their kind of pages re-indexed. Their traffic came back gradually after like a week or so, but I would say that was one of our emergency case studies recently. People do come to us when they're having emergencies. Like actually, I post a lot on my LinkedIn about like what to do when you get hacked. We've dealt with a lot of hack in-house and for clients. Like we've been hacked before. We had a hack that placed loads of like kind of like random words across one of our websites, like Viagra, bet now, casino, like buy Viagra here, all of this kind of stuff all over our website. So you can just imagine. So we had to clean that up, and we had to figure out how that happened. And then, we lost rankings almost within like 2 or 3 days. Our website traffic was declining massively. And we fixed that. So like, I've posted this kind of personal stuff that's happened to us, and I've posted also hacks that's happened to our clients, that's happened to some of the people we've worked with as well. So I've got this kind of authority on LinkedIn, I guess. So people have come to me on LinkedIn because they've seen that we can clean things up. So yeah, that's another. I think we're quite proud of that. We're quite proud that we can actually fix things. Like we can go get people through the unknown. Sometimes we just have no idea what's going on. Like I'm pretty confident we got the skills to actually fix things. So yeah, that's another case study I'm quite proud of.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people would shy away from those things of people getting hacked and you getting hacked when that's like websites is what you do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But to lean into it and say, yeah, like this happens, this even happens to us.
Yeah.
Like that goes back to that trust thing again. Like this guy's honest, they're honest at what they do, so they can, if they can help us, they'll be honest, and if they can't help us, they'll probably be honest about it as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think like some of the best people who do what I do are the people that have had hacks, or they've like made mistakes in the past. Even hacks are just random. They're nothing to do with the way to prevent them would be to have like always keep your site up to date. But even then, like there can be a vulnerability somewhere. So you just always have to like have like certain scanners on your website scanning them. But yeah, SEO is one of those trial and error things. So the best in the business have always had failures in the past for sure.
Yeah.
And they've had to figure those out. And that's how you become really good at doing SEO and being good at like doing web development and stuff. It's always learning from like the hard moments. So yeah, I'm grateful even for those, to be honest, because without them, we wouldn't have like the skills that we have. Like panicking in the past to fix things for us and for clients has helped us become more confident with our own like skills and what we are capable of. So yeah, it's definitely been beneficial. in the bigger picture.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, we'll start to wrap up. So I want to. I'm not a SEO expert or anything like that, but I know obviously the rise, or like we spoke about AI. Do you think that, or what do you think the impact of AI in terms of like people who can just go to ChatGPT and say, like, teach me SEO or teach me what I need to do on this? Do you think that's going to have an impact on like companies that are offering those services?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I would say it's already had an impact. It's already had an impact. Definitely, people are using ChatGPT to scale everything from content to SEO strategies to whatever. Anything. Like, it's impacted not only marketing but also most other industries. But I would still say that like there's always going to be a way. Like, I don't think ChatGPT is going to replace like local sites, like actual service-based businesses that are local, and like also e-commerce and stuff like that. I feel like these have more of a future, but like things to do with like, I would say like more information-based stuff, like where people are just looking for answers. Like, it's obviously made an impact in that as well. One thing we have noticed is that our traffic hasn't gone down since like ChatGPT has been a thing. Like, I wouldn't say our traffic has gone down, but I would say that engagement maybe has changed. Like the way that people interact with you like has changed. So we've always got our eyes on this. We are not worried about it. If anything, we're quite excited because we're using these tools to scale ourselves. So we're not like shying away and like saying, oh, the world's over, like because of this. We're like, no, hang on. We can now build this crazy software that goes and, you know, posts social media content all over your channels, like automatically. And, you know, we're looking at it as opportunities rather than being scared about it. But I think like the future of SEO will probably be more kind of independent. It will be away from SEO agencies, I think. In the next, like maybe like in 5 to 10 years from now, maybe like the SEO agency would find it way harder to market. But in terms of like backlinks and digital PR and stuff like that, I think those components of SEO are still going to be very important, because those are the things that add authority to websites and to brands. So brands build their authority because they're being kind of mentioned and referred to from other places. So I think that those are the parts of SEO where there's still a lot of money to be made. And we do those things. So I'm not too worried about it, but like the rise of ChatGPT kind of aligns with our own goals of scaling down on selling SEO as a service. So yeah.
Awesome. I think, yeah, we're pretty much on time. We'll wrap up there. Armen, thanks for coming on. If people want to have a look at what you're doing and, you know, you're active on socials as well, where can they find you?
My LinkedIn would be the best place. I can give you the link after this call, and you can attach it to your podcast. My LinkedIn would be the best place. I'm doing a YouTube channel right now, but it hasn't got many videos on it. I'm trying to basically scale that over the next couple of weeks. So I'm trying to get myself more kind of in front of the camera. But yeah, my LinkedIn right now would be the best place.
Awesome. I'll be sure to post the links in descriptions. And yeah, LinkedIn, YouTube, we'll put them on there. So, nice. Armen, thanks for coming on. It's really good speaking to you.
Yeah, you too. Take care.